Ramanand Sagar was born and sent to this dharti to rewrite Ramayana, not to write Ramayana. 1 in every 12 human beings had seen Ramayana
in the world.
In the world. As Hanuman ji. And dedication मतलब to what extent? उनके मेकअप को 3 या 4 घंटे लगते थे. फिर उनकी पूंछ, अभी पूंछ लगी हुई है तो बैठेंगे कहाँ? एक शख्स नहीं मिला who supported पापा जी as रामायण.
Really?
जैसे सटक गया है, किसी ने सेक्रेटरी को बुलाया, बाहर निकाल उसको, किसी ने बोला go and tell your father. कोई बड़े स्क्रीन से छोटे स्क्रीन पे जाता है क्या? क्या हो गया तुम लोगों को? Are you all gone nuts?
The Ramayana that you made, your father and you made, when the casting was so perfect, did you have the cast at your beck and call? Did they give their entire dedication to the Ramayana? And is that what you wanted when you signed them? That you have to be there, all there for the Ramayana when we are shooting it? Or were they, coming, going, doing what they want, 10 filमें करके फिर आ रहे हैं? Or were they all dedicated to the Ramayana?
See, an actor is just clay. You have to mold him.
Yes.
It's the director's media.
Yes.
So I beg to differ.
Okay.
And actor is available. Then you take a star. Now star and actor are different.
Agreed. So you went for actors, isn't it?
Correct. That's
yes.
one. Second, we had a problem. जब पापा जी ने 1976 में रामायण सोची थी, है ना, during the making of Charas,
right,
when he saw the first TV in the French Alps,
right,
so he decided to shift to TV,
right,
and we were all against it. Ki from big screen and a movie Mughal you cannot do that.
Can't do that. Huh.
And Arzu, Aankhein, Geet, Lalkar, Charas,
right,
what all, I mean, super hit ke upar super hit.
Right.
That was the learning period to make Ramayan.
Right.
He was being taught to create mass media. So, but he had to make Ramayan, he was born to make Ramayan, rewrite Ramayan. I would say Ramayan cannot be written. Just going off the track, सबसे पहली बार रामायण शिव भगवान ने रचना की थी टू पार्वती माँ, एंड उधर काकभुशुंडी जी बैठे हुए थे. तो काकभुशुंडी जी ने जाकर पंची सभा में कही, उधर से वाल्मीकि से तुलसी ने लिपि में लिखी, है ना, क्योंकि उस टाइम द लैंग्वेज हैड कम. सो रामानंद सागर वाज बोर्न एंड सेंट टू दिस धरती to rewrite Ramayana, not to write Ramayana, not to make Ramayana. Ramayana तो हर मनु व्रत में आती है, काकभुशुंडी तो 14 बार देखते हैं. He is outside the globe, he is seeing from here, और उधर से वो देखता है राम वो रोटी खा रहा है, रो रहा है, and the same sequence is repeated because he is seeing ये नकली राम है. So राम तो हर युग में आएगी ना, हर मनुव्रत में आएगी. तो there are 14 manus. So it's a very scientific, exact kind of a thinking कि विष्णु अवतार होगा, प्रलय होगी, माँ प्रलय होगी, विष्णु के नाभि के गोल सारी सृष्टि घूमे. It's all a very, very calculated thinking process of the whole सृष्टि is working.
Right.
Because there is something called God, there is something called Vishnu.
Yes.
And Ram is Vishnu अवतार.
Right.
तो सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम था कि the main problem around the world was ये मुकुट और मूछ नहीं चलेगा.
Correct.
And some of them told me तेरा पापा 60 हो गया है, उन सटक गए.
Really?
Yes. Some of the biggest people in this world. He gave me a suitcase, briefcase, with Ramayana pamphlets, and he had friends all over the world because he was a legend,
yes,
even as a filmmaker. Right. People respected him. Hindujas की तो टेलीग्राफ आज भी आरजू है. Can you imagine? They were made from Arzu and Sangam.
Oh, okay.
What they were today.
Right, right.
है ना?
Yes.
So that's how they started their whole empire, and they respect that. So he sent me around the world, gave me a round the world ticket. मैं यहाँ से दुबई गया, दुबई से मिडल ईस्ट गया, मिडल ईस्ट से लंदन, लंदन से न्यूयॉर्क, LA, टोक्यो, सिंगापुर, हांगकांग. एक शख्स नहीं मिला who supported पापा जी as रामायण.
Really?
एक शख्स जैसे सटक गया है, किसी ने सेक्रेटरी को बुलाया, बाहर निकाल इसको। किसी ने बोला गो एंड टेल योर फादर। कोई बड़े स्क्रीन से छोटे स्क्रीन पे जाता है क्या? क्या हो गया तुम लोगों को? आर यू ऑल गॉन नट्स? व्हाट्स हैपनिंग टू द सागर एम्पायर? बट ही हैड डिसाइडेड, जैसे सर पे कफन बांध के होता है ना, बिकॉज ही वॉज अ राम भक्त ऑफ डिफरेंट इंटेंसिटी, दैट आई हैव सीन।
वो तो पहले से शुरू
पहले से
अच्छा।
एक्चुअली देवी भक्त थे फ्रॉम 54। मेरे जो दादा परदादा थे वो शिव भक्त थे
जी,
बट ये राम भक्त, क्योंकि वो शिव भक्त राम भक्त वो एक ही, तो राम भक्त तो थे ही, बहुत बड़े राम भक्त थे। एंड ही वाज श्योर कि रामायण लानी है। ही वाज श्योर आई विल मेक 3। मेरी जितनी बाकी जिंदगी रह गई है, इन द एज ऑफ 60 he had decided, though he made Ramayana at the age of 70, but the age of 60 he had decided
to make it, and he made it at 70.
Yeah, that I will make 12 संपूर्ण कला अवतार राम, 16 संपूर्ण कृष्णा, and शक्ति महामाया दुर्गा, you see, and he was sure कि मैं ये करूँगा. And this was the problem, and he and me had a soulmate relationship. मैं रात को कभी सोता नहीं था without making him sleep. कभी खाना नहीं खाया उनसे पहले. ये पितृ ऋण और पुत्र धर्म का अपना सोचना है. Everybody not necessarily should follow that.
Right.
But मेरा अपना chemistry है, and I have a right to live my way.
Right.
है ना, because I think पितृ ऋण चुकाए ना चुके, and पुत्र धर्म तो कभी खत्म ही नहीं होगा. So even the book I have written on him is because of the same. कपिल शर्मा show was also same. जिधर से ये सारी चिंगारी आई है, you know. And
so coming back to
Ramayan, he came to me, Prem, क्या करें? I said, you sure? He said, I'm very sure. I have to do it. I have been born. Actually उनका नाम भी राम आनंद था, which was not a coincidence. And when first time he saw Sagar, वरुण देवता in Bombay, he called himself मेरी मम्मी का नाम लीला था, राम लीला. अभी वो जब शिशु पैदा हुआ था, उसका जब नाम संस्करण राम आनंद रखा था, तो किसको पता था कि ये शिशु रामायण बनाएगा?
Correct.
So it was not a coincidence, it was a divine, yojana. Destiny, not destiny. It was a planning. It was a divine planning. He was, ये आत्मा को भेजा गया था, क्योंकि हमारी जो सनातन धर्म की जो वैल्यूज थी वो डाइल्यूट हो रही थी, एंड रामायण में पॉल्यूशन आ गया था. दूसरे मजहब के लोग, क्योंकि राम was difficult to digest for anybody else because he was मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम.
That's right.
Ideal man, ideal father, ideal son, ideal king. ऐसा पुरुष होना, आदि पुरुष, मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम. तो ही मतलब मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम is not acceptable to perhaps many other mankind living here.
Yeah.
So रामायण को pollute कर दिया गया, राम बैन करेगा सीता को, है ना, and things like that.
Yeah.
And Papaji was conscious of it, and he wanted to even change Ramayana according to what he thought was right.
Okay.
And he also took lot of creative liberty. Coming down to casting, so he came to me, Prem, क्या करें? I said, don't worry Papaji, we'll make a test marketing. हॉलीवुड में क्या करते हैं, एक फिल्म जब बन जाती है तो उसको एक छोटे से कस्बे में, पनवेल में, करजत में, खपोली में रात का 9 बजे का शो चालू कर देते हैं, नई फिल्म का, एंड द फुल यूनिट इज देयर, द एडिटर, द डायरेक्टर, द एक्टर्स, द म्यूजिक, एंड सब बैठ के देखते हैं कि कौन सुसु करने गया, कब तालियां बजी, कब सीटी बजी, व्हाट वाज द क्लैप ट्रैप, यू सी, एंड दे कम एंड रीडू द फिल्म एंड देन रिलीज.
ओके, तो वो टेस्ट ऑडियंस के साथ,
टेस्ट मार्केटिंग, तो ऐसे हम टेस्ट मार्केटिंग. बोले क्या करेगा? ऐसे बाबा जी एक राइटर, ग्रेट क्लासिक राइटर है, सोमदेव भट्ट, उसने 3000 साल पहले रामायण जैसा ही सब्जेक्ट लिखा था, बेताल 25, 25 स्टोरी था बेताल. कहानियाँ भी वैसी हैं, मॉरल भी वैसा है, कैरेक्टर्स भी ऐसे हैं, ड्रेसेस भी वैसे हैं, है ना. हम विक्रम बेताल बनाते. इसे आइडिया इज गुड, बट इसको बैक कौन करेगा? बिकॉज Vikram Betaal was the first of his kind on TV.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know, costume, it set a trend.
Yes.
And ये सब magic and you know all that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, special effects and all. It was a forerunner to Ramayana.
Yes.
तो मिस्टर R.S. अग्रवाल उन्होंने अभी अपनी एक कंपनी शुरू की थी हिमामी. तो ये मेरे दोस्त थे, काफ़ी करीब थे. We used to say शेर व शायरी करते. And he was fond of Ayurveda. So we both had common interest, you know. So I went to Agarwal साहब and said, sir, एक कुछ करते हैं सोसाइटी के लिए. Let's bring Vikram Betaal because that will bring again lot of goodness to mankind.
Yes.
You know, lot of moral values and storytelling.
Absolutely.
So it will be
and fascinating story.
Correct.
Yes.
It will be fun, you know, for kids. And उन्होंने बीज डाल कहते प्रेम गुड आइडिया बट प्रेम मेरे पास एट प्रेजेंट पैसे नहीं है मैं सिर्फ 1 लाख रुपया दूंगा. आई सेड डन. ही गॉट शॉक ऑफ हिज लाइफ. तो 1 लाख में 30 मिनट बनाएगा कैसे? यू नो. आई सेड सर दैट इज माय प्रॉब्लम. Cameraman I did, writing I did, direction I did, special effects I did. Underwater city 75 rupees में की, महाकाल का मंदिर गैरेज में किया. The whole Vikram Betaal was shot in Sagar Villa.
Okay.
Can you beat that?
Wow.
It's not a joke.
It's not a joke.
Yeah. कुएं में से गिरना, वो 2 आदमी पानी के लिए खड़े होते थे. दीपिका वो तकिए पे गिरती थी, 2 आदमी पानी स्प्लैश करते थे कि कुएं का पानी गिरा. एंड कैमरा विल नॉट शिफ्ट. कैन यू इमेजिन वी हैड practically 12 to 18 scenes per episode and shot everything in one day. We used to shoot 23 minutes in one day.
Wow.
Yeah, because of planning. I used to take a month to plan my sketches and everything. And then Vikram Betaal became a hit. You know that Vikram Betaal.
Yes.
जो जू मार्केट के सब्जी वाले थे वो 4 बजे आके सागर विला के बाद हड़ताल करते थे. औरतें सब्जी खरीदने नहीं जाती थी, बच्चे स्कूल मतलब खेलने नहीं जाते थे, मदर पर जाए. देन ही वाज श्योर. देन ही सेड तूफान आए कुछ आए, यू नो, रामायण मुकुट मुझ चलेगा, है ना. So if you will see, everything of Vikram Betaal is Ramayana. Vikram is Ram.
That is Arun Govil. Arun Govil, so Vikram became Ram.
Yeah, the Prince Lakshman.
जी.
फिर the Yogi Ravan.
जी.
फिर the warrior वीरवर दारा सिंह हनुमान.
जी.
फिर जो राजा था वो मेघनाथ.
Yes.
है ना.
Yes.
And जो princess थी वो दीपिका सीता. And unit also editor सुभाष शेखर.
Okay.
You know, रविंद्र जैन.
Yeah.
So everything of Vikram Betaal was translated
into Ramayana. So the same cast, same unit, same crew, everything is the same. And that is how you got your cast for Ramayana.
Correct. At the same time, while selecting the cast, I had a very आज भी सुनील लहरी को याद है मेरी कैबिन में.
सुनील लहरी who played Lakshman.
He came to my cabin. You know, my assistant brought him. I said, shirt utar. He says, Prem, I felt very funny. कि आदमी बोलते shirt उतार, इसकी इरादे क्या है?
और उन दिनों में shirtless was not in fashion.
No, but I wanted to see his torso.
That's right. That's right. Because he has to go best.
No, the actor का जो body है, that's a part of. उसका हाथ कैसा है. We selected धर्मेंद्र for आंखें because his hand was so big.
You needed that.
उस time धर्मेंद्र was nobody when we selected him. He was Shola और Shabnam एक picture.
Right.
But because he could hold the gun.
That's right.
And he would look great. Can you imagine he was selected for आंखें because of his hand?
Wow. Okay. Achha.
But that's filmmaking.
Right. So that's how you did your casting in Ramayana.
Correct.
Also.
Because Arun Govil had a perfect torso. Between his 2 shoulders and his nabi, it's an equilateral triangle.
Okay.
As a cameraman, as a painter, I'm telling you.
Right. Okay.
If you see Virtus Man of Leonardo da Vinci,
yes,
he divided into 8 parts.
Right. Right.
And when वो जो ऐसे खड़ा होता है एक सर्कल बनता है वो 30 degree. Yeah. So that calculation of the human body is there, na.
So you saw that in Arun
Everything.
Govil?
Of course.
Okay.
And because I've been a painter and I've been a cameraman and a still photographer,
Yeah.
so my vision is little different only as a director.
Right.
And he was a perfect guy, and he selected him, and he fitted Ram so perfectly
Yes,
well.
absolutely.
And
To this
Ram
day, when you
cannot
say
be
Ram,
replaced.
yes, you cannot. You think of Arun Govil the moment you think of Ram.
लोगों ने हाथ चढ़ाए, नारियल फोड़े, कोई
अभी भी मैंने सुना कि he was at the airport and an elderly lady went up to him and wanted to be photographed and went and because she felt she was seeing Ram again.
You won't believe, उमर गांव में ये ट्राइबल वुमेन, उनके बच्चे बीमार होते थे ना, इसके चरणों में आके रख देते थे.
This is Umargaon in Gujarat,
Gujarat,
where the entire Ramayana
was shot.
Okay.
It became an international village.
Village.
Fishing village became internationally famous.
Wow. Yeah.
Because even BBC.
That's right.
Can you imagine? And वो बच्चा ठीक भी हो जाता था.
It's faith.
Faith.
Yeah. It's just faith.
Their own, they use their own energy.
Right.
Ram did nothing. But that was the impact of Arun Govil.
Of Arun Govil, yes.
Which is there even today.
Absolutely.
Calcutta से बड़े-बड़े जमींदार and this Marwari rich man, they would call Arun Govil on their child's birthday to bless him.
Oh.
I have seen that. I'll tell you a small incident. BBC wanted Ramayana.
Okay.
So we were in correspondence since I was also the marketing director.
Right.
I managed by Ram's Kripa to sell Ramayana in 55 countries,
Wow.
55
Wow.
channels and got a 650 million viewership,
Wow.
which was the world record.
Right.
And just imagine after 33 years it got 78 million against Games of Thrones 1.9 million, which held the record
During COVID.
after the COVID.
Yes.
वो 2 करोड़, ये 8 करोड़, and उस टाइम 65 करोड़, मतलब 1 in every 12 human beings had seen Ramayana
Ramayana in the world.
in the world, and in multiple languages, including Mandarin,
Yes, that's right.
Thai भाषा, Indo
That's right,
भाषा,
yes,
Telugu,
yes.
Tamil, Malayalam,
Every possible.
every possible language. You can't imagine that, you see.
And spread across 5 continents.
एक जर्नलिस्ट ने मेरे को पूछा कि सर वेयर हैव यू शोन रामायण? आई सेड सर ओनली 5 कॉन्टिनेंट. बोले ओनली 5 नॉट 7? आई सेड यू आर नॉट अंटार्कटिका एंड आर्टिक. The guy blushed, he was a chitta, white European. He couldn't believe, you know.
Right, right.
So that is, it's not a joke. Ramayana even marketing wise cannot be repeated.
That's right. That's
है
right.
ना?
So
Sholay sold 40,000 VCDs, DVDs. Ramayana sold 17 million.
Wow.
There's
just no comparison.
No comparison. वो भी कृपा थी because Ram had to reach there.
That's right.
So he was very sure Ramayana बनानी है, and he made Ramayana, he made Krishna. He couldn't make Durga due to many circumstances with the government. And
So when you made the Ramayana, what kind of dedication did you put into it, as in not just the making of the Ramayana, but was there a lot of discipline being observed on the sets?
See, unless you do samarpan, samarpan means you give yourself
up completely.
completely. No questions asked, no reason.
Right.
You leave the ego, you leave the self. तब जाके एक रामायण जो पापा जी ने बनाई बन सकती है.
Right.
And that was not only Papa ji, but everybody had to do that. If you will notice, जब पापा जी ने कृष्णा भी बनाई तो उन्होंने अरुण गोविल को नहीं लिया, because वो इमेज राम की
हो.
So he had, and again a new boy who had only done Adi Shankaracharya.
That's right.
So राम को अगर आप कोई स्टार लेके करेंगे या कोई ये करेंगे तो उसकी तो एक इमेज फिक्स्ड है ना.
That's right.
वो भी एक प्रॉब्लम है. ये जो ग्रंथों की कैरेक्टर्स हैं, अगर वो प्योर करके आते हैं, वी स्टार्टेड विद अरुण गोविल इन बादल.
Yes.
And from Badal we picked him up for Vikram Betaal to Ramayan.
Yes, yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Correct.
So all, अभी जैसे dedication of Dara Singh.
Yeah.
आई वुड से उनकी डेडिकेशन को तो मतलब
हनुमान जी
एज हनुमान जी
जी
एंड डेडिकेशन मतलब टू व्हाट एक्सटेंट, उनके मेकअप को 3 या 4 घंटे लगते थे.
अच्छा
या
ओके
इट वाज यू नो द रबर हैड टू बी मोल्डेड
ओके
एंड उसको गैल्वनाइज करना एंड ऑल दैट. तो उस टाइम प्रोस्थेटिक्स तो थी नहीं,
जी जी.
तो उसका मेकअप फिक्स करना, उसको मैच करना एंड ऑल दैट.
We are talking about 50 years ago.
You are speaking
More than
about
40 years. Yeah.
36 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. उस टाइम तो था ही
उस
नहीं,
time, yeah.
है ना. फिर उनकी पूंछ, अभी पूंछ लगी हुई है तो बैठेंगे कहाँ?
Oh.
It's easy to say.
Yes.
वो पूंछ के साथ कुर्सी पे तो बैठ नहीं सकते.
Correct.
उनके लिए एक स्पेशल स्टूल बनी हुई थी जिसमें एक पीछे से कट था,
Oh.
इधर
For the
पूंछ
tail to
रखी
go.
जाती. You see? All
Yeah.
shooting problem.
Right.
फिर एक बार वो मोल लग गया, है ना, तो खाना कहाँ से खाएंगे?
Okay.
एंड 3 घंटे पहले मेकअप किया है, तो फॉर अबाउट 8-9 hours द मैन कुड नॉट ईट
Couldn't
एनीथिंग.
eat anything. Okay.
व्हाट वाज हिज डेडिकेशन. एंड पापा जी का भी तो कमाल था, बिकॉज लाइक ही वर्क लाइक अ मैडमैन. और रात को एक बैठे हुए कोई सीन आया है, डायलॉग चेंज हुए हैं, तो 3 बजे वुड गेट अप. अरे सबको उठाओ. क्यों? बस 1 घंटे में शूटिंग करनी है. तो 4 बजे कैमरा वुड बी ऑन. इट वाज a 24/7 process.
Because all of you stayed there at Umargaon.
There was any alternative? You think it could be made without that? It was not possible.
So all of you lived in Umargaon and you lived with the Ramayan 24/7. That's how
It was more than lived with the Ramayan. It was only Ramayan, and all the time we were only with Ramayan and things like that, you know. And बहुत miracles हुए उस time. When Ramayan, मुझे याद है 4 बसेस विजयवाड़ा से आ गई.
अच्छा.
क्या सब हमने 2 दिन सोए नहीं है, हमारे साथ बच्चे भी, हमने राम के दर्शन करने 60-80 people.
My God.
But such a human angle. पानी भी नहीं पिया है, बच्चों ने दूध नहीं पिया है. एंड उमरगांव में हमारे पास एक रूम नहीं है, उनको रखेंगे कहाँ? तो स्टूडियो के बाहर उनको बसेस में ही रखा, गद्दे ऑर्गेनाइज किए, खाना ऑर्गेनाइज किया, पानी ऑर्गेनाइज किया उनके बच्चों के लिए. अल्टीमेटली वो भी तो ह्यूमन एंगल है.
Of course.
How
And
come
you would
it is-
have busloads of people coming there.
Yes. एंड VIPs. राजमाता सिंधिया आ गई.
Okay.
अभी वो जो आधा घंटा गया या 1 घंटा गया, वी आर वर्किंग 24/7.
Right, right.
I don't have that 1 hour for a VIP.
That's correct.
It was a massive problem. Time management, people management. Hats off to the production.
Right.
We had about 8-9 people, actors, who were paid monthly.
Okay.
They were not paid per role.
Okay.
उनका गेटअप चेंज, चल तू आज ब्राह्मण बन जा, चल तू आज, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
So एक आदमी ने कुछ 10 रोल किए, you never caught.
Yes. Because you just changed the look so much.
The biggest problem was monkey army, Bandar Sena.
Yes. Vanar.
I would
Vanar
not say,
Sena.
sorry for the word
Vanar-
Bandar, Vanar
Vanar
Sena. You see, Vanar Sena. अभी समझिए आपको 500 वानर सेना चाहिए. Can you imagine how much time it would take to do a makeup of theirs?
Yes.
It will take you 6 days
So
to do
how
a
did you
makeup.
manage that?
Secret.
Secret.
बताना मत.
After 36 years?
फिर भी क्या होता है, स्पेशल इफेक्ट्स जो होते हैं ना,
जी.
I never like to discuss.
Because at that time you couldn't have this
No,
computerization where you can just multiply figures. isn't
नहीं,
it?
भारती ऐसा नहीं है. I am a special effects specialist also.
Right.
स्पेशल इफेक्ट्स अगर जनता को पता चल जाए ना, they lose the impact of reality.
It's
तो-
like a magician. If you know his trick, then
Correct.
world. Then.
तो बताना नहीं, स्पेशल इफेक्ट बताना, उसको बताना भी और नहीं भी बताना. अभी जस्ट टू टेल यू, वी यूज्ड टू कॉल देम गोटी बंदर. ये मार्बल्स होती है ना, गोटी, वी यूज्ड टू कॉल देम गोटी बंदर्स.
Okay.
ये सूखा हुआ नारियल लेके ना उसको सेंटर से काट के, तो वी वुड मेक देयर माउथ पीस. उसको आधा करते थे, उसको 1/4, उसके बीच में धागा बांधते थे और उसके बीच एक मार्बल लगाते थे, तो हम यू कुड डू, है ना, ऐसे पकड़ लेता था, ये उन्होंने एक्शन ना, तो चलो गोटी बंदर तैयार हो जाओ, रेडी सर, दूसरा बंदर रेडी, दूसरा वानर रेडी. So these were all practical production problems which you don't realize.
That's right.
You see, इतने scenes करने, war scenes करने, and imagine 16 जनवरी 1987 को हमको ओके मिला, and 25 जनवरी was the release. तुमको 10 दिन की लीड थी.
That's right.
अभी 10 दिन की लीड में आप रामायण कैसे बना सकते हैं? Unless there was a divine intervention.
That's right.
कोई बीमार नहीं पड़ा, कोई एंड कैरेक्टर्स ढूंढने, जैसे लास्ट डे आ गया, सुग्रीव ना मिले.
ओहो.
अभी सुग्रीव का कैरेक्टर हैज टू मैच हनुमान कैरेक्टर.
Yes.
एंड अभी सेकंड दारा सिंह कहाँ से पैदा हो?
Right.
दारा सिंह की जो छाती
Correct.
थी, जो लुक था, अभी सुग्रीव हैज टू मैच दारा सिंह. नो,
बिल्कुल.
पूरे हिंदुस्तान में कहाँ से सुग्रीव ढूंढे हम? बहुत देखे, अखाड़े देखे, ये शिवाजी पार्क में अखाड़ा है, उधर देखे, बहुत देखे, वर्ली में, वो सुग्रीव. एंड शूटिंग इज ऑन द हेड, एंड एवरी वीक इट हैज टू बी रिलीज्ड.
राइट.
23 minutes have to be done that way. You cannot say कि मेरे को सुग्रीव नहीं मिला, मैं एक हफ्ता, ये पब्लिक इलेक्ट्रिसिटी, मतलब पावर हाउसेस को आग लगा देती थी अगर रामायण बंद होती. छोड़ो बाय ड्रॉपिंग इट, अगर पावर ऑफ हो जाता है, दे वुड बर्न द इलेक्ट्रिसिटी हाउसेस इन जम्मू एंड अदर्स. दैट वाज द मैडनेस ऑफ रामायण व्यूअर्स. यू सी, हम रात को 2 या 3 बजे उमरगांव के वो समुंदर और स्टूडियो के बीच में जंगल है, जंगल में एक सीक्वेंस कर रहे थे. लाइटें थी, ये था, कैमरा था, एंड थके चूर होके, कोई 3 बजे होंगे रात को, पिच डाल. पापा जी ने बोला पैकअप, तो उन्होंने लाइट्स ऑफ की. सडनली हमने देखा होराइजन से एक साला जायंट काइंड ऑफ आदमी खड़ा हो गया. अरे हम लोग सो फ्राइटेड कि कौन आ गया, भूत आ गया, प्रेत आ गया, कोई आत्मा आ गई, कोई ऊपर से कोई देवता आ गया, क्या ये है क्या? एंड पिन ड्रॉप साइलेंस, 50-100 पीपल आर जस्ट लुकिंग, एंड वो भाग रहा है जंगल में हमारी तरफ. इट वॉज ए मोमेंट टू रिमेम्बर. एंड पापा जी के कोई 10 फुट दूर से उसने एक छलांग मारी, एंड पापा जी के चरणों पे गिर गया, एंड पापा जी के पैर पकड़ लिए. उतने में मैंने लाइटें ऑन कर दी, तो ही वॉज अ सॉलिड ह्यूमन बीइंग. तो पापा जी ने बोला तू कौन है भाई? कहते मैं सुग्रीव हूँ.
Oh my God, complete stranger.
तो सुग्रीव कैसे है? कहते साहब मैं इंदौर से हूँ, मैं पहलवान हूँ, मैं रामायण देखता था, मुझे लगा आई हैव टू प्ले सुग्रीव, तो मैं सुग्रीव बन के आ गया. दिस इज नॉट अ शॉर्ट ऑफ
My God, this is a miracle.
मिरेकल. तो बोले तू डायलॉग बोल सकता है? कहता है अखाड़े में हम लोग गालियां मिलें देते हैं, तेरी तो ये, कहते तू ऐसे ही बोल. So we had to put that mask with him, and the entire dialogues have to be dubbed. वो रावण से बात कर रहा है कि रावण तू क्या समझता है? They are all the language of the akhada. He's speaking and he's enjoying.
Okay.
And वो Sushen Vaidya.
Yes.
Sushen Vaidya. After serial, he वो पान वाला था इंदौर में. He used to sell pans. उसके बाद उसकी पान की दुकान became a legend. कि इसका पान खाएंगे तो हम बीमारी ठीक हो जाएगी.
अच्छा, because he's Sushen the doctor.
Doctor. He was the Vaid. He was Ravan's Vaid.
That's right. Tell me a little bit about Ravan, and your Ravan was just perfect. Arvind Trivedi.
Yeah, we picked up Arvind Trivedi. We have a long history with him. We were making a Gujarati film, Veer Mangda Walo, with his brother. What was his brother? He was a big star. He was like Amitabh Bachchan of Gujarati cinema.
Okay.
And we gave Arvind. Then I picked him up for the first film as a director I did. I made him Hema Malini's father
Okay.
in Hum Tere Aashik Hai.
Okay.
You see? Then I picked him up for Vikram Betaal.
Okay.
And there I realized I didn't have to tell him कि कौन सा मंत्र से तांत्रिक योगी का मंत्र उसे करना है. ओम आई रीं छिं क्लीं 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 द्राक्षे नमः. So he knew the mantras and everything.
Oh.
And I realized that this man in depth is much more than what appears as an actor. He has total Vedantic knowledge. You know, he knew the stuti of Ravan by heart.
Really?
Yes. एक rehearsal नहीं की.
Wow.
We recorded it. Because it was written by Ravan himself.
Right.
But we didn't have to tell him.
Because he
Dara
already
radi
knew.
dara raram dara radi dada dadam dadam. He knew it by heart.
Oh wow.
That was Ravan. And that action of his,
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and the way he walked.
The way he carried himself, even because Ravan was not some villain in a den.
No, Ravan was a highly intellectual man.
Knowledge.
Balki, I don't know how many people know that, or maybe it is a dant kathaएं, maybe it is real. जब राम उधर पहुंचे, उन्होंने शिव भगवान की पूजा करनी थी, तो उन्होंने शिवलिंग बनाया, है ना. तो इसलिए राम ईश्वर, है ना. तो ये विष्णु भगवान का अवतार है, उसका पुरोहित कौन हो सकता है? See, the problems as a maker and as a sensitive maker and as a very deep kind of a thinker maker. अभी राम का पुरोहित कौन होएगा? That is where
Ravan comes, yes.
because 9 ग्रह को कंट्रोल करता है, शनि को पैर में रखता है, एंड शिव भगवान का भक्त इतना है कि पूरा कैलाश उठा लेता है.
Yes.
तो ही वॉज अ डिफरेंट, एंड वो कोई दानव थोड़ा ही था, वो तो ऋषि पुत्र था.
Yeah.
उसकी माता भी दक्षिणी थी. तो रावण वन ऑफ द बिगेस्ट स्कॉलर्स.
Yes.
पूरे वेद उनको याद थे.
So the Ramayana is, you know, everybody is talking about how Ramanand Sagar and your Ramayana continues to be the ultimate.
I had asked once Papaji in his those moments when he would reveal his inner thought,
Yes.
his soul level thought. Ramayana had become a big hit, and it has become already a.
Right.
I asked him, Papaji, ये रामायण कब तक चलेगी? Called me and said, प्रेम, ये 50 साल तक इसका रिप्लेसमेंट नहीं हो सकता.
Achha. Okay.
He had that
Okay.
vision.
Okay.
For 50 years, nobody will be able to repeat. So जब कोरोना के बाद फिर से जब इसने वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड किया,
Right.
I remembered Papaji how much.
Right. Right. Yeah.
I said, my God, what a foresight he had, what a vision he had, and he was made and born to be. You know, when he was born, his name was Chandramauli.
Really?
शिव भगवान का नाम, एंड शिव ने पहले रचना की. नाम संस्करण में रामानंद हुआ.
Ramanand.
एंड जब पहली बार बॉम्बे में आए, उन्होंने कभी समुंदर नहीं देखा था, जब वरुण देवता के दर्शन नहीं किए थे. जस्ट इमेजिन समबडी हु हैज नेवर सीन द सी
Yeah.
एंड सी सच अ मास ऑफ वाटर. आपने लेक देखा है, आपने नदी देखी है, बट टू सी द सी, it's a killer in your mind, you know.
Yeah.
That is when he decided, and you know, with a little hesitancy he went to Charni Road. And Charni Road की Queen Necklace है ना, वो मुफतलाल के साथ में President Purohit, he stood there and he prayed to Varun Devta कि ये कुबेर नगरी में accept me.
Okay.
I have come to this new city.
Right.
Please give me place to stay.
Right.
which is Bombay. Bombay has never refused anybody, always given it a place.
Always.
एक टाइडल वेव आई, पूरी बेलपुरियों के बेलपुरी स्टॉल्स क्रॉस करते मेन रोड तक आई. मैंने आज तक नहीं देखा इन माय 80 years of Bombay. And zoom करती हुई, he said my name will be Ramanand Sagar. Before that he was Ramanand Bedi, because his mother side was Bedi. Then he was Ramanand Kashmiri, because of
He came from
Kashmir. His forefathers were from Kashmir. 1830 se.
And there were Chopras.
Yeah, he was Ramanand Chopra.
Chopra also.
His great-great-grandfather Lala Shankar Das was a Nagar Seth
Right.
during Gulab Singh's time.
Yes.
Gulab Singh is the first king, Sikh king who bought Kashmir from the Britishers.
That's right.
You see, 75,000 Nana Shahi, the coins, you know. So from that, and Nagar Seth is the richest man. So he came from that kind of a backdrop.
And you feel he was born and placed on this earth to make the Ramayana, to rewrite the Ramayana?
I don't feel, it's a fact.
Okay.
If you join all the Kadis, while I was living and while we were together, it may not have occurred to me. But now seeing the effects, because I can't think of any serial or any movie जो 33 years के बाद भी ऐसा रिकॉर्ड करे.
Yes.
It cannot be. उनकी हार्ड डिस्क ही नहीं खत्म होती थी. 29 films he wrote. 16 he produced and made them into hit. उसके बाद 2000 hours of television software. You think it is possible for a human disk to do that?
That's right.
So his megabytes were totally different.
Tetrabytes, yeah.
Yeah, tetrabytes.
Yeah.
And to make Ramayana, to get 650 million viewership, is it possible by a human being? And then after 33 years to get another 17?
That's right.
So he was sent to this dharti, and he faced a lot of hardships. All the characters of Ramayana, whether it was Kakai or Mantra, he had a stepmother who used to beat him.
Yes.
And on all that kind of stories. His mother died of drug addiction at the age of 26, and when he was just 5 years old. And he has gone through selling soaps, cleaning trucks, becoming a peon, clerk. He's seen every aspect of Ramayana character in his own life.
That's right.
Because he had to portray them. Some villain, some good, some sacrifice, some giver, some Bharat, some Lakshman, some Shatrughan, some Kakai, some what is it to be a mother. So जैसे एक आदमी ने PhD करनी होती है तो उसको पहले केजी में भेजते हैं, फिर वो SSC करता है, फिर वो BSc करता है या BA करता है, फिर जाके तो he was sent, he was made to struggle, he was made to face all these kinds of things so that he could put those characters in real life. Then he was a journalist. At the age of 16 he wrote his first story.
That's right. Yeah.
In Pratap College magazine, Pritam Pratiksha, which has shades of Krishna and Uddhav.
Okay.
It's Uddhav and Krishna's story at the age of 16.
Okay.
And the editor said, this is not yours. He said, no, it is mine. They had a fight. Then finally the editor wrote, I am not responsible for the originality. At the age of 16. And in 1950 he made a big flop film, 51, Mehman. उसमें there was a song, बिना दो सीता माता को दिया राम ने घर से निकाल, the वनवास, Prem Sagar song. Now that beach was there of making Ramayana. In one of his short stories, where the lady, the heroine, is washed away in Ravi river to the Pakistan side, and when she comes, the father refuses to accept. Was Sita not being accepted in Sita Pariksha.
That's right. Agni Pariksha.
Agni Pariksha. So everything in his life he experienced, and then he was shown how to make mass media communication. He made super hit films because Ramayana had to have such a viewership. It had to go to mankind. It has to go to the universe. So it was all a learning process. Chandramauli, Ramanand Sagar, Leela, Ram Leela. So how do you attribute that?
That's right. How do you explain this? Yeah.
And similarly, in his life, he met a lot of people, saints, tantrics, big, like in 1942 when he got TB, our Kul Purohit, Nityanand ji, he was a Tantrik. I have experienced his Tantric power personally, you see. And he told him, looking at his Kundli, oh, in 80, somewhere in 80s, you will make Ramayana. When he was 25.
Matlab, Ramanand Sagar ji was 25 years old when it was predicted that he will make the Ramayana in the 80s.
Yes. He had got TB, he was given up for dead. You see, he was sent to Tangmar sanatorium. It was a one-way street. Actually, all that Papaji lived, he learnt in the TB sanatorium.
Oh, okay.
He learnt the philosophy of Sakshi Bhav, witness living. करता होते हुए भी डरता होना, डरता होते हुए भी करता होना. You are a witness and you are living. You are living and you are a witness. It is witness living. That was his whole life. You know, he lived like that. That's my thinking. Being with him,
right.
You know, Sakhiva. Now there he was given up for dead. Sanatorium was a one-way street. There was no cure. लोग आते थे, उनका होता था आज लॉटरी डालो, कल कौन मरेगा? So one dead body would go, and the next day they would celebrate. At night, अरे गया, देख गया, हो गया, कल यार. So any, he was in Sena, and there he started writing a column.
Okay.
He said, I'm dying, ठीक है, let me leave something कि how to live. So there was a magazine called Adab Mushrik in Lahore. And that time Lahore had all the intellectual giants, like Krishan Chandar, Monto, Faiz Ahmed Faiz, and all these kind of literary giants, Rajinder Singh Bedi. And he started writing this column and started sending it to the editor, unknown guy. The editor, when he read the first, the clip which he sent, he said a dying man is showing how to live.
Love, Look at the irony.
Irony.
Yeah.
I would say paradox.
Yes.
रिवर चलता है तो क्या साउंड करता है, व्हाट इज लाइफ, बादल आता है तो क्या है, जब मृत्यु होती है क्या मृत्यु होती है. He is defining philosophy through death and witness living. And that column became a super hit. And unknown to Papaji, in the literary world, he had become a star.
And he is there in the sanatorium.
And he is dying there.
Okay.
So he didn't know that this has happened to him.
Right.
There was one man next to his room. वो रूम में 2 या 3 आदमी रहते थे. So he was given up for dead. It was only how many days more he will live.
Okay.
So because of that he said चलो और चीजें try करते हैं, जैसे होम्योपैथी try करते हैं, ये करते हैं. So there was a Vaid in Tangmar, So he went to this Vaid, and that Vaid knew he is going to die. So the Vaid used to bully him. शक्कर पीस के दे देनी, दाल चीनी दे देनी, and just to make him psychologically feel, oh, I have taken the medicine. And that guy became all right. That Vaid got a shock. He says, how did he says, I don't know, you give me medicine, I become all right. I am leaving the sanatorium, they are giving me a clean chit. He says, hold on. Tell me what you do the whole day. So करते करते पता चला he was so fed up with life. There was a sugarcane field. There was a parapet wall. He used to go and sit there. He used to pluck the sugarcane, eat the sugarcane, and sing a song written by Kedar Sharma. You know, it's sung by K.L. Sehgal. दुख के दिन अब बीतत नहीं, ना कोई तेरा ना कोई मेरा, है चारों ओर अंधेरा. So Ved said, take me there. Ved said he sat on the same place. He plucked the sugar cane fully from the roots, and there he found a 12-foot long black cobra dead.
Oh.
So it was the cobra poison which was coming through the sugar cane, and this guy got cured.
My God.
And there's a possibility that Papaji got cured because of something like that. That I am not able to, but he told me this story, so this,
Yeah.
So he got cured. And he was coming down the Tangmar 6000 फुट पे नीचे आना पड़ता है, 4000 फुट है. And सामने से घोड़ा आ रहा था. He was on a horse. They both stopped. They both looked at each other. They both got down. They came face to face. And that stranger on the other side, he says, Ramanand. Papaji got a shock of his life. He looked at him. He says, Krishan Chandar. He says, yes. He couldn't believe that Krishan Chandar is in front of me, such a big writer.
Right.
And I'm an unknown guy. So Krishan Chandar and he became great friends.
Great friends. Okay.
Then he took him to Shalimar in Pune. Then he brought him to Bombay.
Right.
And he respected Krishan Chandar right up to the last. Even in Hamrai, Krishan Chandar wrote the screenplay dialogue.
Right.
He never forgot his friends and people who. So he became all right. And that column, Maut ke Bistar se, became a big hit column.
You were talking about a prediction that was made when he was
Correct.
a sanatorium.
That is what I am trying to tell you. Ki after he came back, to my grandfather, Lala Dinanath, he was concerned and worried, so he brought the Kul Purohit.
Okay.
Now Kul Purohit, Nityanand ji, was also Tantrik. I just tell you a personal incident between me and Nityanand ji. Yeah. Me and Anand were there, and you know how kids are. They want to do the oddest thing, no?
Yeah.
So he says, "Bacha log, kya khaoge?" तो आनंद ने मेरी तरफ देखा, मैंने आड़ू खाएंगे. अभी in Bombay, how do you get an आड़ू? You understand by आड़ू, ना? It's आड़ू is a pear kind of a fruit.
Oh, okay.
है ना?
अच्छा.
कश्मीर में मिलता है, येलो कलर का होता है, इतना सा आड़ू. हमने कहा आड़ू खाएंगे, ऐसे ही जस्ट टू सी कि ये बहुत समझते हैं ना, अपने आप तड़ी मारता है. Bharti, he did like this, and there was an adu in his hand.
Oh.
In Bhatia building, in a 12-foot by 12-foot room, where we 5 brothers used to stay. He said, "Ye lo bache adu khao." That was his power. Once, when Papaji was in very deep financial problems, so he had come home. Another miracle. So he says, Nityanand ji, कुछ problems हैं, कुछ चमत्कार दिखाओ ना. So he said, अच्छा. He used to call him Ramanand. Ramanand, तू लिख तेरा सवाल. तो पापा जी took a piece of paper and wrote something and he says, इसको बंद कर, टेबल पे रख दे. He kept the glass on the table. After a little time, he said, pick up the glass, and the answer was written. This is not make-believe.
Okay.
I'm sorry, people may think it's a myth. No, this is seen. So I am not going to budge from what I have seen. So Nityanand ji was of that level.
And he had predicted that.
After he came back from TV, my grandfather brought him कि इस लड़के का देखो फ्यूचर क्या है, मर जाएगा, जिएगा, क्या होगा इसका. And he laughed at him. He says in 80s he will make Ramayana the biggest, he will become an international figure. तो किस बात की फिक्र है तेरे को? Why are you worried?
Okay.
Then you remember Mohla साहब,
Yeah.
ये 10 नंबरी का पिता,
हाँ.
He was an astrologer.
Oh, really? Acha.
This Madan Mohla's father.
Okay.
है ना? Raj Kapoor was so totally bugged by with astrology.
Acha?
He wouldn't move without Mohla Saab's doing.
Acha? Without his
Yeah,
astrological guidance.
He was very close to Mohla Saab.
Okay.
He used to tell him, अच्छा ये कर, वो कर, ये actor ले, ये कर. Even अपनी इंडस्ट्री में ये सब होता है because of the uncertainty.
That's right.
तो मोला साहब ने पापा जी के भी बहुत करीब थे and पापा जी also respected him a lot because उनमें विद्या थी.
That's right.
There is no doubt about it. Even right now I know a fellow comes from south. Again, this is not a myth. He has Kanprast Vidhi.
Acha.
Just going off the track. His name is Kishore Pandit. He comes to meet me. He's just sitting there. They come and tell in his ear everything. कि मेरे जेब में 10 रुपए का नोट है, उसका ये नंबर है, he'll tell you.
Wow.
मतलब these things exist.
Yeah.
ऐसा नहीं है कि these are.
So Mohla Saab had also.
Mohla Saab saw Papaji's Kundli and he realized कि Ramanand Sagar will make a spiritual, some kind of a mass media which will create havoc in the whole world. But he didn't know which one. So he started Yogeshwar Krishna with Shashi Kapoor as Krishna and and Raj Kapoor came. LK Advani came to give the clap in Natras Studios.
I remember, I was there.
Mohla Saab. And he predicted that in 80s he will make something on Hindu spiritualism which will create a sensation around the world.
Right.
The only mistake he made was he said he'll make Krishna and not Ramayana. Calculation में कहीं पे. In 1970, Bharti, you won't believe, Papaji gave me my first break in Lalkar as a director of photography.
Right.
I had got the gold medal and silver medal. And Satyajit Ray told him कि if you don't pick him up, I will take you in Berlin. So he was forced to give his son. Otherwise, a very rigid, strict, As a father, he was rather very strict. Nahi, you have to start from zero, work it up, and then if you deserve, you will get. But I don't know, he gave me Lalkar at the age of 27, which was hardly anything.
Yeah.
To be a DOP at 27. And I was very touchy. It involved the northeast region, the story. So उधर north light होती है, and वो नागालैंड्स में उनके घर कैसे होते हैं. तो even Papaji wanted to see the location. So we both decided, चलो चलते. I had said I'll see my lighting. I'll create special lights for Lalkar, which will give that bounce lighting feeling. I created bounce lights and things like that. तो उधर गए. तो हमारा डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर था शंकर लाल गोयंका. He owned all these theaters in Shillong and Guwahati. तो हमको कामाख्या देवी ले गए. हमने पूजा विजा की, बड़ा आनंद आया. By itself, Kamakhya, I made some beautiful photographs of that. I still have that. Suddenly, एक लड़की पीछे से आई and she tapped me and he says, वो एक साधु बाबा है, वो आपको मिलना चाहते हैं. So I went to Papaji, ये कह रही है. तो Papaji said, चलते हैं. And we started walking, looked back, that girl disappeared. Normal लगा, ठीक है, she might have got lost in the crowd. हम गए, we faced the sadhu. He had a very unusual piercing eyes, and he was different. He was not normal. Kept looking at Papaji as if he's sending some kind of waves, he's sending some kind of a spiritual cleansing or changing his mindset. This is my interpretation after what all has happened. And Papaji kept looking, he says, Baba, koi seva, not speaking. Koi some message for me, not speaking. Then we left. It looked normal. And we forgot about it. This is 1970.
Okay.
Now we cut to 19 83, 84 or 85, after about 10-15 years. Papaji wanted to make a small film called Kohinoor with newcomers. So with camera and junior artists and actors, new actors, we went to Haridwar, we parked ourselves there, and we were shooting around Rishikesh and things like that, you know. And it started raining and thundering and, you know, big storm. And we were on the banks of the Ganga, and these lady actors, they were shivering. So didn't know what to do. There's nothing, no house, nothing. So Papaji looked down next to the Ganga Maya river, next to Ganga Maya, एक साधु की झोंपड़ी थी जहाँ पे एक हवन चल रहा था अग्निदेव. तो Papaji just felt, he called his assistant Yogi. He says, go and just request Sadhu Baba कि कुछ देर के लिए पना दे दें. Once the rain goes away, we'll go away.
Yeah.
So Yogi went there. And he says, सर हम फिल्म बना रहे हैं, हमारे साथ कुछ स्त्रियां हैं, आपके बरसात हो रही है. He got so angry. He says, फिल्म बना रहे हो, निकल जाओ इधर से. Took a little bit of ash, भस्म कर दूंगा तेरे को. That Yogi तो he almost fainted, he ran. You know, and he was a Tantrik. And as Yogi was running up, because it was about 8-10 feet down slope, you know, and his daughter, we were here. So he asked him, उसका नाम क्या है? तो योगी भी भागता हुआ बोलता है, रामानंद सागर. That Yogi totally changed. He says, रामानंद सागर, ओ मैया मुझे माफ कर दो, मेरे से गलती हो गई. अरे उनको आदर से लेके आओ. The whole tone changed, the whole thinking changed. And we went down there. He is looking at Papaji like that, like, you know, marble eyes. And he went outside. वो पत्ते तोड़े उन्होंने, ऐसा किया, गर्म पानी तक डाला, हमको पिलाया. We started sweating with that little drink of which he had made. And गर्मी मतलब बरसात वगैरह सब भूल गए. फल ले आया अपने जो उसने भिक्षा में लिए थे. पापा जी को दे, तुम खाओ, तुमको दो. तू रामानंद सागर है ना, तू रामानंद सागर है ना. पापा जी also, we were all baffled, you know, at the total change. Finally करते, पापा जी ने कहा नहीं बाबा, because you can take भिक्षा only once. If you eat his fruit, then he will remain angry.
Correct.
So पापा जी was aware of that. He said नहीं बाबा ये आपकी भिक्षा है, मैं नहीं ले सकता, मैं नहीं ग्रहण कर सकता. And treated it and asked him कि what is it? That suddenly you and I'm a filmmaker, yeah, I make normal films. So then he told us that in 1970 you had gone to Guwahati, you went to Kamakhya, yes. The girl came there, yes. You met a sadhu, yes. He says that was Avtar Babaji. Avtar Babaji lives between Badrinath and Kedarnath. He's 500 years old. There's a bubble, and once you go inside that bubble, you don't age.
Okay.
So हर शाम को बद्रीनारायण की आरती के लिए आते फिर चले जाते हैं. And Yoganand's biography of a yogi has been mentioned. He can be at two places at the same time and all that, you know. तो वो दर्शन तब देते हैं जब somebody has to do some इस तरह का काम which will change society or which will change, you know. So then he gives darshan. Baba ji stood there, he says, पर मेरे को करना क्या है? कहते वो तो बाबा जी बता सकते. That I can't tell you. तो बाबा जी मिलेंगे कहाँ? कहते वो बद्रीनारायण टेम्पल है, उधर जब पूजा होती है तो आते हैं. तो after some time we went to after 3-4 months went to बद्रीनारायण and प्रसाद लेके बाहर निकले तो प्रसाद गिर गया. तो एक आदमी ने आके हाथ से पकड़ा एंड प्रसाद खा गया एंड पापा जी को देखता रहा ऐसे एंड स्माइल करके निकले. तो डिडंट नो, थोड़ी देर बाहर निकले तो एक राम बाबा मिल गया. बोले रामानंद? बोले हाँ. हिज नेम वाज आल्सो राम बाबा. ही सेज वो महाअवतार बाबा जी थे, तुमको दर्शन दे के गए. बिकॉज उन्होंने मेरे पास मैसेज छोड़ा है कि तुमको रामायण बनानी है, ये फिल्म छोड़ दो एंड टीवी में जाओ. Now how do you explain this?
So your dad and the Ramayana you made was ordained.
Absolutely. I have no doubt about it. Leave aside second opinion. The very fact I have put it in my book, his biography, I wouldn't do that if these were not facts.
So that is why the Ramayana that is associated with Ramanand Sagar is at a level by itself.
Spiritual level.
It's on a spiritual level by itself. No comparison with anything.
I remember at times, एक दिन shooting में dialogue didn't come. Went to him. कहते मैं क्या करूँ? आ ही नहीं रहा. My hand is not like writer's block. तो क्या करेंगे? वो हनुमान जी आके मुझे बताएंगे, बताऊंगा. And the dialogue came. He says हनुमान जी ने आके मुझे बताया. मैंने लिख दिया. He had that kind of belief and some connection.
Yeah.
एक कनॉट सर्कल से मूर्ति ले आया हनुमान की आउटसाइड दैट टेम्पल. लाइब्रेरी में रखते थे, पूछते थे कि मैं भूल गया अभी तू बता. तो यू वुड गेट द डायलॉग, थिंग्स लाइक दैट. तो he was sent here to make Ramayana, to bring the lost elements of Sanatan back to today's youth, and to change the Sanskriti of Jeeves in Bharat and bring Sanatan back.
And that is why it stays unparalleled.
And it will never have. The other day somebody asked me, will you make a Ramayana? What will you make? Whom will you cast? I said, I'm sorry boss, I will never make this Ramayana. It's a classic of a different level.
Yes.
Can Mona Lisa be redone? Can Raja Ravi Varma be redone?
Right.
Not possible.
Right. Thank you so much, Prem.
Jai Shri Ram Bharti ji.
Lovely talking to you.
Jai Shri Ram to your viewers.